Dobro večer svima, dobrodošli na još jedan Best webinar. Moje ime je Marinko Parić i večeras imam izuzetnu čast najaviti našeg specijalnog gosta, Torres, i njegov drugi dio webinara Transform Your Life. Neću previše dužiti, nego ću prepustiti riječ njemu, odnosno uživajte u njegovom izlaganju. Jose, stage is yours.
Hello everybody, hello. I hope you are doing wonderful, and I also hope that you did all your homework from webinar 1. I am going to do a very fast summary of the first webinar that we did a couple of weeks ago, and then we are going to start with part 2 of the webinar. So the webinar is called Transform Your Life, and this is part 2. And the reason that you see that computer is because from my background, I did a PhD in information security. I used to be really good on hacking computers, changing operating systems. And then 6 years ago, I met a lot of mentors that allow me to think in a different way. And then after 6 years of working with more than 200 companies, working with a lot of presidents from companies, CEOs, I come to the conclusion that the human mind or the brain is exactly like a computer. Every 1 or 2 years is really important to reset or reprogram your belief, your habits, and so many other things that, of course, we do with education. In the last webinar, I told everybody that information is no longer power. It used to be, in fact, in about 20 or 10 years ago, information was power, but every single citizen of today have more information than what Bill Clinton used to have 10 years ago, which was the president of the United States. So information is no longer power. What is really power is the meaning that you give to the information, and meaning to information is only possible with education. Now, as you know, we are facing a lot of positive changes from Lioness to Live Connect, but of course sometimes we don't like changes, and we don't like changes because we love habits. We love things that we exactly know how they work. 2014 is almost over. The next 60 days are going to be really important because we need to close a lot of things from a personal point of view, from a company point of view. As we know, we have a brand new baby called Live Connect, which is basically just was born last week. And now it's time for us to plan the success of 2015. You guys met me at the Business Excellence basically a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, and I got so many Facebook messages from you that I talked to the leaders, Laden, Marinko, and we have decided to basically share all the knowledge that I have gotten in the last 6 years and share some of the tricks I do with my team here in Spain. Of course, focusing on time management, goal setting, and achieving step by step your objective. Remember that one of my favorite part of the year is actually November, December, January, and the reason is because in January 1st we have something called the New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolution starts always January 1st, as you can see in the picture. And of course, in this 2014 or 15, we're gonna design a life that I love. I'm gonna drink less. I'm gonna quit smoking. I'm gonna finally go to the gym. I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm gonna pay all my debt. I'm gonna save money. I'm gonna find a new job. I'm gonna become level 2 in Live Connect. I'm gonna get fit. All these things, I'm gonna travel more, enjoy life, which is fantastic. But then comes January 15th, and we don't know why, but we go to the same hole. And the reason of this webinar part 2 is to help each one of you not to do the same as you did in 2014. I don't know if 2014 was a great year for you or not. I hope it was, but we need to make 2015 a much better year. And the best way of building 2015 a great year is to pay attention to some patterns of success. One of my favorite sentences is, success leaves clues. If we follow what Robert Kiyosaki has done, if we follow what T. Harv Eker have done, if we follow what some of the presidents in Lioness have done, then we have a much better chance of achieving our objective a lot sooner. So 80% of the people will quit in January 15, and with the techniques and the little secrets that I'm going to give you tonight, and also probably a webinar that we will do in January 15th, we will make sure that you wake up on January 16th and you are still stick to some successful habits. So what's happening now? I wanted to talk about something very special today, and the best picture I could find, it was the migration of the salmon. And as you know, they go against the current. And here, at least in Spain, we got really excited from the transition from Lioness to LionConnect. We know that there is a lot of positive changes, but at the end, we are facing some of the activities that we are not sure how do they work. And so one of a important message for today is what's happening now. What's happening now is that strong people will go into action, and people who are not strong, they will go on thinking mode. Of course, it is important to understand the new changes that we're having, but what is really most important is to go into action. For some people, everything has changed a lot, and in my opinion, nothing has changed. The business is still the same. We are building an economy inside an economy, and what we need to do is to get fit, get strong, get good habits, and travel against the current. Some of my mentors says that a strong fish go against the current, and the dead fish, they go in favor of the current. So one of the things that is important is to become an attractive person, and this is from the webinar of 2 weeks ago. And an exercise that would be interesting for you to do is for you to put a grade from 0 to 10 on how are you happy with your work, with your family, with your health, with your LionConnect project, with your finance, with your education. For example, in this example that you see here, well, work is okay, family, I should improve, health, and completely abandon my health. LionConnect, I want to do it, but I don't know how. My finance, I would like to have at least 6 months of cash, and then education, I should be reading more, attending to more webinars. So you become an attractive person when you start walking into a direction of improvement. So what I'm gonna show you today 2 secrets. One secret was from the webinar 1, and I'm gonna share a second secret with you. And if you apply these 2 secrets into every single day and every single week, then you're gonna start improving into, for example, LionConnect, finance, and also education. I'm going fast because this is a summary from webinar 1, in which I told you basically the difference between the successful habits, the goals, the objective, and your dreams. So dreams are something that you think from year 1 to year 3 or year 5. How do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from today? Objectives are something, how do you see yourself in December 2015? Goals is how do you see yourself this December? How do you see yourself in January? And successful habits is basically what do you do every single hour? What do you do at 8, at 9, at 10? And unfortunately, with the development of today's technology, that we have Facebook, WhatsApp, and so many communication tools, one of the skills that we have lost is the skill of focusing. People are not focused because people are doing several things at the same time. So it is important to start seeing I am on the right side or on the left side. On the right side is the tangible, is where you are closer to the result. And on the left side is the intangible, is when you are far away from the result. In fact, in my opinion, people who right now are trying to understand and thinking about Live Connect, they are on the left side of this graphic. And people who are doing business info, people who are presenting the opportunity, are the ones that are on the right side. The good thing of the right side is that you are in action, but you also learn. On the left side, you learn, but you are not into action. So one of the aspects from the last webinar was you need to pay attention to whether you are investing your time on the left side or on the right side. And on those red circles is the areas of improvement. For example, I do appointments, and in this example, people have interest in SME, or they say yes, but I need more information, or I want to be a recommender. But one of the important things to take into account is what is your ratio from appointment 1 to appointment 2? What's your quota? Is it 10 to 1? Is it 5 to 1? Is it 20 to 1? And then what's your quota from answering important questions in the second appointment, and you answer the key question 1, the key question 2, the key question 3, and finally you close. So these are things that if you start measuring, how many first appointments do you have, how many second appointments do you close, you can already start applying improvements. Now, remember I told you the time, people spend more time on the left, and people spend more energy on the left. Of course, if we don't have the left activities, we will never make it to the right. But the important thing is to take into account that the commissions are on the right side. So it is important, of course, to spend time on the left, to have good energy on the left, but what we need to do is to spend a lot of time in the activities that are close to their results. Now, what's the secret? What's the secret number 1? The secret number 1 that we saw on the webinar was some habits for doing a successful planification, successful planning. I also told you activities that are of high value for presenting the opportunity, and also the follow-up. So let's look at the secret number 1 from the first webinar. So I don't know if you remember, this was the homework in which I told you to every single day from, for example, at 8 in the morning to open the day. And then you close the day at night. What does this mean? What this means is you start opening the day and you try to walk through the day. You say, okay, I'm gonna go to the work, I'm gonna make some phone calls, I'm gonna eat lunch with this person, then I'm gonna go to the gym, then I'm going back to work, then I'm going home at 7, then I'm going to basically decide with ahead of time what you are going to do each day. So successful people, they open the day every day, 15 minutes, they close the day every day, they plan their week on Wednesday. Wednesday is a great day because you still have Thursday and Friday to plan the following week. They close the week on Friday, and successful people spend 1 hour or 2 hours on Sunday, basically tuning their agenda. Why is this important? It's because you don't want to be in a situation in which you go to the office on Monday and you still don't know what's happening. You need to plan with 2 weeks in advance, this week and the following week. We also were talking, not only planning is important, but also execution. So execution in this example was, for example, calling from 11 to 12, or doing first appointments where you see A1. That was first appointments during lunch, and then I'm doing the second appointment from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then on Sundays, I'm going to work on my content leaks. So it's not necessary to work like crazy and to have your agenda full, because of course we need some time for things that happen during the day, but we need to learn how to plan those activities that are going to take us to the result that we want. So we got some planning activities, or planning basically successful habits on blue. We have successful habits in red of execution, and then we need successful habits for follow-up. So follow-up is something that you could do, for example, at the end of the day. And what kind of follow-ups do we need to do? You need to follow up your team, you need to follow up your finances, and you need to follow up the decisions from after the second appointment. So it is not too many hours that we need to do these successful habits. It's about 10 to 15 hours per week. But if you start implementing these habits into your routine, I open the day, I close the day. I open the day, I close the day. Every Wednesday, planning next week. Every Friday, closing the week. Every Sunday, tuning the week. It actually becomes something that you do without thinking. When you do successful habits without thinking, you basically become a successful person. Now, let's start after this introduction. Let's start with transforming your life part 2. So, secret number 1, planning, presenting, follow up. Secret number 2 is how to learn how to use an agenda, how to protect your time, and how to calibrate your habits. So let's start. This is an example that in the future I will show you, which is, for example, on blue, open, and then on at night you close. Basically, you start building your ideal week. You can use different colors, you can use, but basically this needs to be the activities that are close to the result. So a lot of people don't use the agenda. Some people use an agenda, and a lot of people use the mobile phone. The cell phone is great, the computer is great, but once in a while using an agenda of paper is probably the best way. And you might be thinking, Jose, with so many technology, how can I use paper? And the answer is, for a speed, for operation, technology is great. You can, of course, use your cell phone. You can, of course, use your computer. But the reality is that when you want to think, when you want to implement some areas of improvement, when you want to work on your habits, you need to do this on paper. So what you do is you have a completely blank week. You put the hours that you work, you put the hours that you sleep, and you put the hours that you do sport, but you start selecting which are the areas that you're going to use, for example, for Live Connect. So daily use of the agenda, and if it's on paper, even better. Now, a lot of people, they plan and they think about their goals and they plan. But on Monday, the planification move. On Tuesday, the planification doesn't happen. On Wednesday, the planification doesn't happen again. And eventually, people quit the planning. People say, Jose, planning doesn't work. And planning doesn't work because you can use your agenda, but then if this doesn't happen, if there's no protection of your time, then it is just better not to do anything, not to plan. To give you an example, sometimes I use extreme examples to get my point across. But let's say you have something really important. You have an appointment with the doctor, or you have a funeral of a dear friend, and the funeral is Wednesday at 2 p.m., for example. Do you miss? Do you get yourself interrupted by a different activity? The answer is no. The answer is, for example, things like a flight or vacation, or there are some activities during the week or during the month that we just follow them. And this is the same thing that we need to do with our goals, with our objectives, and our dreams. We need to protect them. What usually happens is only a small percentage of the population plan their agenda, but only about 5 to 10% of the people protect their agenda. What do I mean with protection? I mean, if I say that I was going to spend from 2 to 4 in Light Connect, and you can see on the screen on red, this is what I am going to do. If I say that I'm going to spend Saturdays developing the business, this is what I'm going to do. And if I said that I'm going to spend every day from 7 to 21 developing the business, this is what I'm going to do. Now, this is very simple, but it doesn't happen. And the question is, if this is so simple, why is it so difficult to do? And the answer is also very simple. We don't know how to say no, and no one teaches us how we can say no. So this is a small trick, but it's a very useful trick. I never say no, but I always say no now. I say, Jose, can you help me with this? Yes, but no now. Jose, can you take me to this place? Yes, but no now. And when you learn to say no now, respecting your time, people start using their own resources to solve their own problems. And of course, sometimes you need to help people and you need to do different things apart from your goals. But just remember, we need to get used to the no now when we are talking about your goals. When we're talking about free time, of course, you can have time for a coffee, you can do several things. In red, I said when people want for me to not to do what is on red, I said no now. On blue, for example, planning my week on Wednesday afternoon, on Friday afternoon, closing my week, on Sunday around 6 p.m. to basically plan next week. Everything you see in blue and everything you see on red, when I get phone calls or when people want me to do different things, I say yes, but no now. And when you say this, you start doing what I call ideal weeks. And when you do ideal weeks, then you transform your life. So if you want to transform your life, the first thing that a good habit for you to do is to learn no now. And I will encourage you tomorrow to go to your work and one time, only one time, say no now. And you're going to see how you're going to feel very good because you finally are spending time of the important things and you finally are getting focused on what really matters, which is phone calls, presentations, training, and moving the business forward. And the last, of course, I'm talking about planning using your agenda. I'm talking about protecting your time. And the finally is calibrating your agenda. What is this means? Calibrating means, for example, Monday and Tuesday on red. Did I do 2 hours of Light Connect? Yes, so I put an OK. On Wednesday, did I open my day in the morning? Yes, I put an OK. Then I was going to plan my week around 2 p.m. and I didn't do so. so I said not okay. Thursday and Friday, I was going to do Live Connect, and I did not do, so I put not okay. Friday at 5 p.m., I was going to close my week. I did not do, so not okay. So basically, you need to make sure whether you are protecting the activities that are going to take you to the next level, or you are not protecting these activities. So are you okay, or you are okay, not okay? And when you say yes but no now, you're going to see more okays in your agenda. And when you say yes to people, to everything, you're going to see a lot of not okay. I know you might be hearing this webinar right now thinking, oh, this is so basic, this is so simple. But this is not about being complex or being simple or easy. This is about discipline. This is about actually doing it. And then if you try this simple method, planning your agenda, protecting your agenda, and calibrating your agenda, you're going to see how, for example, Jim Rohn, he says that discipline weighs 3 kilos, but regret weighs 3 tons. So don't wait for regret. Just start doing discipline. And the first discipline is next week. Tomorrow, I believe, is Friday. So tomorrow, say yes, but no now. And open your day, close your day, and see if you are able next week to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with opening the day and closing the day. So what's next? Let's see. We have secret number 1, secret number 2. The secret number 1, like I told you before, is the 5 habits of planning, is the making sure that you are doing execution, follow up. So Jose, what's next? What else do you have? Like, I cannot believe you only have 2 secrets. Well, I do have something else. On Sunday, December 7th, you all know that we have the business progress, and I believe that we're going to have President Hannes Freiniger joining the business progress. So talking to the leaders, we have this idea of giving you not only Live Connect tools, but more discipline, planning, and agenda tools that you can really have the definition of success. Remember, is when what you think, what you say, and what you do actually happens. So the business progress, we know that is going to be 7th of December in Zagreb. And what we are going to do on Saturday, some of you already know, and for some others it probably is a surprise, we are going to do a Plan Your Success seminar. And this is going to be a very practical seminar in which I am going to teach you with a special set of documents. I am going to teach you how to design a successful week, of course, taking into account your job, your family, every single aspect of your life. So I'm going to teach every single one of you attending to the seminar of how to build an ideal week just for you, and a week that you can be in level 2 as soon as possible. A special training with the method that will skyrocket your business. I have about 85% of the career levels in Spain. They are in my team, and one of the reasons is because I do a lot of emphasis on planning, on basically, it's not about having very ambitious goals. It's by having small goals but achieving them very, very fast. So this method has 4 parts. On Saturday, December 6th, the first part is going to be a seminar in which you are going to design a clear path about your business, about your personal plan, about your objectives for 2015, the 12 months. We are going also to help you to design the goals for the next 3 months, and it's the most cost-effective task. Basically, identify a list of cost-effective tasks and cost-destructive task activities that are not worth during the day. So we are going to make a list, and from that list, we're going to create the month from the next 3 months. And basically, the clear path part number 1, we are going to talk about successful habits, professional and also personal. We're going to talk about the goals for December, January, February, March, and we're of course going to talk about the objective, the business plan for 2015. And I promise you, you know me, you saw me on the Business Excellence. I'm going to take you out of your comfort zone. It's going to be a seminar with a lot of energy, intensity, but the number one characteristic is going to be a seminar of action. You guys are going to work, you are going to plan, you are going to decide what you're going to do, define your goals, and after the seminar, you are going to leave with the ideal week already set up. So it is a lot of hands-on seminar in which there is a lot of exercises for you to learn, like I said before, how to build the goals, but not only build. A lot of people can build goals. Is how you take those goals into action. Then part 2, you will design this ideal week for achieving success, and I am going to bring an example of an ideal week to achieve career level 2. This is something that I have here in Spain, which is a week that if you follow this week, you need to achieve career level 2. It is very intense. It requires not only amount of hours, but it requires hours of value. So I'm going to tell you in a frame from Monday until Sunday how you can organize your family, your job, and your Life Connect project so you get to career level 2 very, very fast, and you can teach other people how to achieve career level 2. And that would be part 2, in which we are going to have, this is a very plain and simple example, but we are going to select which areas of your week you are going to protect for your Life Connect project. In part 3, we will talk about some skills that you need to accelerate your business, and some skills that you need to duplicate to your team. And after these 3 parts, in which you decide and define the clear path, in which you know the areas that you have to protect from Monday until Sunday, and also the skills needed to accelerate your business, I am putting a special bonus at the end of the seminar. This is a seminar that I have been doing for more than 3 years in Spain. People after the seminar, the comment is always that it was very practical. You are going to leave with your ideal week in your hands. But this time, talking to Laden and Marinko, I'm gonna bring a special bonus. And the special bonus is, tomorrow is a very special day for me because I am flying. I am in Bilbao, Spain right now. But tomorrow I am flying to New York and then to Las Vegas. Why am I going to Las Vegas? I'm going to Las Vegas for 2 special training programs. The first program is called the 6-Figure Summit. The 6-Figure Summit is for professional networkers who have made more than $100,000 in commission. I sent all my commissions to GoPro, and I was selected into, I believe, the 200 people attending to this 6-Figure Summit, and I'm going to have the honor to be there with Hannes Freiniger and with Franz Freiniger. So I'm sure we are going to learn a lot because we are going to be with the 200 most successful networkers in the world. That is the 18th and 19th of November. Then from the 20th to the 23rd, I am also going to be with, I believe, 8,000 people. I'm going to be in something called the GoPro Recurring Mastery. It's 4 very intense days from November 20th to November 23rd. And what I'm going to do, I am going to create the part 4 of my seminar in Zagreb. I am going to do a summary of everything I learned at the Six Figure Summit and also everything I learned from the GoPro Recurring Mastery. I'm going to be there with people like Robert Kiyosaki, Kim Kiyosaki, and also Les Brown, and of course, Mr. Eric Worre. So I'm gonna leave the last part of the seminar on December 6th, Saturday, Plan Your Success, for me to teach each one of you the most important things I learned during the following week. So it is a very special night. I'm actually need to start packing all my luggage, and tomorrow I am flying to Las Vegas. So this is sometimes how life looks like. You have a lot of interruptions. You have like a hurricane going every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And in my opinion, if you don't have some patterns of success, every single week is going to look like this. You're always behind. You are always making a big effort. And the only way to have a different life is by introducing some pattern of success, basically following the people who have done things in a different way and implementing successful habits. So it is an honor and a privilege for me to communicate to all of you that in very, very soon, December 6th, because of your leaders, I will see you on December 6th for a special training with 4 parts, and I'm also going to take part on the business progress on December 7th. I am really, really excited. We have built a really good relationship between Spain and all the Balkan countries, and for me, it's an honor, it's a privilege for especially Laden and Marinko to let me share with you some little secrets that they are not complex, but they are very effective. So I hope to see each one of you on December 6th and also on December 7th. I am going to bring all my experience of the last 6 years, but I'm also going to bring my experience on the following 2 weeks, which are going to be very exciting because I'm going to be with probably the best networkers in the world. You can find me in my website, josemanueltorres.com. You can also find me in my website of the company Plan Your Success, and also we can be friends in Facebook, and you can follow my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/user/dr Jose Manuel Torres, where you can find a lot of not only videos in Spanish, but also a lot of videos in English. Remember, it is possible to plan your success, and it is also possible to plan your failure. So the reason why I am really happy that you joined the first webinar and the second webinar is because on January 15 of 2015, you are going to stick with your goals and you are going to plan your success. Thank you very much. I'm gonna open the mic to Marinko. Maybe he wants to say a last few words, and I'm really excited to see you very soon in a couple of weeks.
Jose, thank you a lot. I'm looking forward to see you again, and I'm very excited about these 2 days with you and Hannes. I can also announce that on Saturday evening we will have a great party for all attendees of the event, and I wish you all the best in Las Vegas. Hope that you learn lots of good things and that you can bring it to us, and see you in couple weeks. Za sve prisutne, to je bio Jose Manuel Torres. Dobili smo dodatnu dozu znanja kako organizirati sebe, kako organizirati svoje vrijeme, kako planirati uopće svoj uspjeh, i vjerujem da je bilo korisno svima, ali ukoliko stvarno želite to primijeniti u praksi i dobiti detalje i vježbati kako to stvarno sprovesti u djelo, ne možete biti 6.12. nego u Zagrebu u hotelu Antunović. Cijena za taj event je 200 kuna za subotu. Ukoliko želite biti prisutni i u nedjelju na biznis programu sa prezidentom Hannesom Freideggerom i Joseom Manuelom Torresom kao gostom, dodatnih 150 kuna. Možete oba dva dana, znači 350 kuna, i svaki po volji i po mogućnostima svakog od vas. Hvala lijepo, laku noć.